Alright guys, real quick before we start the video, I went to the Tuckahoe Police to get a FOIL request, and it turned into a real mess, as you're going to see in the video. Sergeant Lyingtin, I had went to the police department after speaking to Village Hall because Marianne told me that I can go in and speak to the chief. I had seen the chief walk in the building with a bright blue bicycle shirt, and his car is in the parking lot. Lyingtin says the chief is not available and that, he's not there and that he's practically invisible. And you're going to see a lot in this video. We ended up calling the crisis team for him because I think the guy's suffering from dementia. In the end, I do get my full request. I full request the incident on Palumbo and this call from St. Vincent's because you're going to hear there's a twist in this. But I'm going to come in every couple of minutes to explain what's going on because there's a lot happening in this video. I'm sorry to disturb you again. Sergeant Lyingtin is not doing so well right now. Do you have, I want to do a FOIL request, but I need the date of when this incident happened. He's in there, he's not doing so well. He's saying the chief is not there, but the chief is there apparently, but the chief is invisible, or he's having some type of a mental breakdown or something. I don't know what to do if he's in there and no one knows where the chief is and he's having these issues.
The only piece I can help you with is just the forms.
I know, but I don't know the date. He's the only person that has a date, and he's in there having medical emergency. I mean, I'm gonna call him help when I go outside, but I just want the dates of this incident, and whatever he's doing, he's having some type of medical emergency in there. And he did this last time, and he called for these ambulances, and I want to know if he found this person who was in distress, but I think he's in distress because he sounds very, I think he might benefit from some Thorazine or something. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but he might need some help. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to call him an ambulance, but he needs some help. Yeah, I don't know. The chief is invisible apparently, but I seen him walk in the building with a blue shirt, so I don't know. Maybe the chief is invisible to Lyingtin. You can't see him.
Right. So if you'd like, you can take the FOIL request for him. You can even email it later once we have the information.
Well, he's the only one who knows the date, so I'm gonna go handle this. Thank you. I'll handle this. He's in there, he's having medical emergency, so we're going to call Officer Lyingtin some help. Alright guys, so at this point in the video, I had already went to the Tuckahoe Police Department. There was another person in the lobby, so I waited outside. The time was around 3:20. So I waited outside. It was raining. It was around 3:40 when I called the police station. I called because it was about to be 4 o'clock and Village Hall was going to close, and I would assume the chief would leave and go home because it was almost 4 o'clock. So I called and Lyingtin picked up, and I said, "Can I speak to the chief?" And then he started yelling, saying, "The chief is not there." But then I told Lyingtin I seen the chief's car in the parking lot, and I seen the chief walk in with a bright blue bicycle shirt. And he started yelling at me, saying, "Who is this? Who is this?" And that struck me as weird because Lyingtin knows who I am, and I know who Lyingtin is. And then he kept saying the chief is not there, or pretty much the chief is invisible or whatever, because I seen him walk in the building, so Lyingtin must have seen him. But the chief is invisible to Sergeant Lyingtin, excuse me. So I went to Village Hall and told them that this guy is having some type of episode, and that I need my FOIL request because I still wanted services, and that I would go outside and get the guy help if he needed it, being a good citizen and whatnot. So I told them this, and they basically said, well, they couldn't do much at Village Hall. So I went back outside, and I called the Westchester County Crisis Team, and that's the clip we're about to see next. And so we're still here in Bronxville. Just got off the phone with the crisis team. They said they're going to call Sergeant Lyingtin at the police station. I still never received any services, never got a FOIL request. The chief's car is here. Let's show the chief's car. The chief walked in the building. He's wearing a blue bicycle shirt. But the chief's car is here. The chief is here. This blacked out car over here is the chief's car. right there. That is the chief's car. But the chief is not here according to Lyingtin. So I don't know if he's having some issues or something. It's very rare the chief's here, but the chief is here. So I don't know what he's smoking. The chief is definitely here, so we're gonna see if we can wait for Chief Satriali. Maybe I should wait over here. See if Chief Satriali is gonna come out and we can talk to him or see what's going on with this, because this is unacceptable. And on the phone he kept saying, "Oh, who are you? Who are you?" Like he didn't know who I was. Lyingtin is really losing his mind in there. But she's on there on the phone with him in there. So we're gonna wait, see if Chief Satriali comes out here in a little bit, because he's got to drive home or leave. That's the chief's car. So chief is here. All right, guys. So at this point in the video, I had called the Westchester County Crisis Team about Sergeant Lyingtin. I told them pretty much that I called the police station after leaving Village Hall. There was someone in the lobby, so I didn't go in because the lobby is a small space. So I waited outside at 3:45. It was raining and everything. I didn't want the chief to leave, and I wanted to speak to him before he left. And he started yelling at me on the phone, Lyingtin. And there you see the chief's car. That's the chief's car. Just for proof, more evidence, the chief's car is there. But I told them pretty much everything, and they said they would reach out to Sergeant Lyingtin, and this is what's going on right now. This is the footage. At this moment, they're calling Sergeant Lyingtin and speaking to him. The next clip is we're going to see is me going to the Tuckahoe Police and speaking to Sergeant Pinto about this, because I did call St. Vincent's back. I called the crisis team back, and I asked them what were their findings. Is it safe to even enter the building to receive services from this man? And they did not give me a proper answer. So I went to Tuckahoe to speak to whoever was there, and we got some new information about what the crisis team called, if Sergeant Lyingtin's making it up, or what the crisis team said got misconstrued. But that's the clip we're about to see now. Sergeant Pinto. Hi. Can you call the crisis team? Well, no, it's about an issue that's happening on Pondfield Road. Yes. Some guy, he's in there. He's saying people are invisible, people aren't there. I called St. Vincent's. They said they'll call him, but I don't know what their findings is. I still need services from him, saying the chief is invisible. I spoke to Marianne. Marianne says the chief is there, and he's having some type of issue in there. He's yelling, and he's 200 Pondfield Road.
That's the police department?
Yes.
Okay. Bronxville Police has a person in there with crisis?
That's what
you're telling me?
Yes.
Let me call them up real quick and see what they got going on.
The Bronxville Police.
Yeah, I'm going to call Bronxville Police. If you're telling me somebody's in there, I got to make sure the officers are...
Well, no, the St. Vincent's called them. St. Vincent's reached out to Bronxville.
St. Vincent's reached out to Bronxville for what?
Because I called them and said that I told them to check on him. But then...
I need to know who he is.
Sergeant Lyingtin.
So you want us to call the crisis team because the police officer is in crisis?
I think so. I mean, he's talking about people are the chief was there. I seen him walk in with a blue shirt. Then I called Lyingtin, and then he's saying, "Well, the chief is not there. He's invisible. Yeah."
Okay. So Sergeant Lyingtin was on the phone.
Yes, he picked up the phone.
You received a call from St. Vincent's because you called them.
Yes, I called them to call him.
So, do you need help, Anthony?
Well, yes, I still need services from him, but he's having some type of an issue.
What services do you need from me? Let's not worry about. You're now in Tuckahoe.
Yes.
You always find me in Tuckahoe.
Yes.
What can I help you with?
Well,
My concern.
well, I'm having this issue. He's in there. He's lying and all that sort of stuff, and he's saying that the chief's not there.
I'm not worried about Bronx. If you need help, if you need to speak to somebody,
Well,
tell me so I can help you.
well,
I'm not trying to say I don't. Whatever happens in
Yeah.
Bronxville happens in Bronxville. You're in Tuckahoe now.
yeah,
You came to me for help.
yes,
I always tried to help you
yes,
all the time.
I know. Is the detective here?
Nobody's in here right now.
Oh.
Just you and me right now.
Well, I don't know. I mean, my main issue is I mean, I'm trying to get a FOIL request, and he's having medical issues and stuff, and I can't.
So I just talked to him on the phone.
Yeah,
He says he's fine.
I don't know if he's fine.
I'm not a medical personnel. I am not there. I haven't seen him. I just asked him if he needed help, and he said no. He told me he received a call from St. Vincent's about a man outside of the police department, 200 Pondfield.
He wasn't outside.
He said it was you.
I was outside. I called them.
You called St. Vincent's.
Yes.
So my question is, do you need St. Vincent's, and I'll call you an ambulance to get you help?
No, I don't need to speak to an ambulance. I need if you can call them back and tell them to have them meet me out there to have someone take that FOIL
I'm not
request.
harassing another police department because you have issues with them.
Well, no, if someone could help me, I mean, I'm trying to get
Do you need to speak to somebody is what I'm asking you.
who?
That's what I'm asking. Do you need to speak to a crisis intervention? Do you need to speak to the crisis team?
Are they here?
I will call them here for you.
Well, I was well,
I'm
where?
not sending them to another police department.
But where do they have jurisdiction?
Hear me out.
Yeah,
Please, just hear me out. I'm not trying to say what you're saying doesn't make any sense.
yeah,
I'm trying to make sense what I'm saying.
yeah.
You told me that
Valentin.
I'm sorry, Sergeant Valentin.
Yes,
Was having a crisis.
yes,
And you called St. Vincent's for him.
yes,
I just called up the Bronxville Police Department.
Yes.
I spoke to Sergeant Valentin.
yes.
He says he is fine. He received a call from St. Vincent's about a man outside of 200 Pondfield, which he said was you,
Yes.
in need of crisis.
Now I don't need.
So now my question is, if you don't need help, and you want him to get help, I can't help you with that.
Well, where does this people have jurisdiction at? Is it only for Tuckahoe?
I have jurisdiction in Tuckahoe. If you need help while you're in Tuckahoe, I'm going to call the crisis team for you.
But does the
One of
crisis?
your friends was outside having crisis in Tuckahoe. I'm going to help them.
But the crisis.
Sergeant Valentin told me, I got some guy going crazy. You know what? Can you help me out here? I can call and say, go to Bronxville. But he didn't say he needed help. He said St. Vincent's was called, and they called him to have somebody come check on the person outside, which he said was you.
Well,
You just admitted to me that you were outside of...
I was outside. I called them for him. I want to know: does this crisis team? Do they have
I
jurisdiction?
don't know. Their jurisdiction is not like a certain village or town.
Oh.
They go where they're needed.
Oh, so if I.
You're calling up to get a crisis team on a sergeant because he doesn't want to give you a...
Well, no. It's because of how he said it. It seemed like it was very strange because I even spoke to Mary Ann, the village clerk.
I don't know who Mary is.
She works at Village Hall, and she even said Bronxville, yeah, and she said that the chief is there, and that whatever it was, it didn't sound right. So I don't know if this crisis team, if I would tell them the same thing that I'm telling you. I mean, now he's trying to say that the crisis team called about me. No, the crisis team, they were called on
So
him.
you called the crisis team.
On him.
They called Bronxville.
About him. It wasn't about me.
The crisis team called Sergeant Valentin
Yes.
and said, we received a call for a man in crisis outside of your jurisdiction, outside of your headquarters. And Sergeant Valentin said, I see the man out there. He hasn't come in here. We have no knowledge of this.
So they're trying to say that I was having the crisis.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it was. No,
I'm not saying you are.
Anthony,
I'm trying to make sure you're okay.
it's been misconstrued. I called and I said,
realize now that I'm the third party in this.
I know, Sergeant
I wasn't
Pinto.
involved in Bronxville. I wasn't involved in St. Vincent's. I have not spoken.
I know, but it sounds like either he's making it twisted or they twisted it.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I know. I mean, if you were to call these people, I'd tell them the same exact thing. You know, I mean, no. If you were to call them, I would tell them the same exact thing I'm telling you. That, you know, this guy, I called for this guy, and how he was treating me, yelling at me and stuff. He didn't even know who I was.
Who?
Lyingtin. He didn't even know who I was, apparently.
You know what? I can't speak for him. I don't know.
And
I just asked him if he's okay and if he needs help. And he says he's fine and does not need help. And he did tell that you were there outside.
I was outside, yes. I was outside. I was standing outside of Village Hall.
And that he received a call from St. Vincent's.
Well, no, that means there's, I know, but
Regarding somebody outside having a crisis.
it sounds like they twisted that. I mean,
Now my question is for you, and I'm not trying to say you're coming off. What you're saying to me is not making any sense. You're telling me right now that you're upset with Sergeant Valentin because he wouldn't give you a FOIL form.
yes, that's very, I mean,
So that sounds like you want to try to take something up with the Bronxville Police Department with him, not with me.
well, I tried speaking to the chief, and the chief is invisible, and he's not there, but his car is there. He's driving down Midland.
I can't speak for them. I'm not Bronxville. I'm Tuckahoe. You come here for us to try to go after them because they're not helping you out.
I mean, is there a way, like, you
Can
can,
I help you with something here?
is there a way you can call the crisis team and have them, like, take a report?
Regarding Sergeant Valentin?
Well, yeah, I mean, they have to take this report because, I mean, he's in there. He's not, I mean, last time I went in there, I was showing him where I had surgery, and then he flipped the whole ordeal and said that, oh, well, you know, this must be something else, and he caused a big scene. So I mean, I would.
I can't call a crisis team unless I'm involved with the person directly. You're telling me a story. Your story has gone from him not helping you, and you feel he's going crazy.
Yeah.
Where I called to make sure he's okay, and he told me on a taped line that he's okay, and that he received a call about somebody outside having a crisis, and said you were outside, and you're admitting to being outside, and you're admitting to calling St. Vincent's.
Yes, about him.
I can't help you with that.
Oh.
I can't help you with that. I'm not there. I can't leave here to go check on him. I can't have one of my guys go and check on him.
And the crisis team can't take reports.
I'm not going to call the crisis team and make a false report.
Oh no, it's not a false.
You have an issue with him not giving you a FOIL form. I'm not getting involved in that. That's something where you can take it up, and I'm going to give you advice. You could take that up with the Bronxville Police Department. You could take that up with the village administrator in Bronxville if they have one. You can say, I came in to file a police report. I know you're videotaping, so you have it on camera.
Yeah.
You're not surprising me with this.
Yeah.
So you have it on camera. You have the video. You're going to upload it to YouTube.
Yeah.
And you'll show everybody what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hopefully you won't cut out parts. Just play it as is.
No, I'm not cutting anything out.
Videotaping me, man.
Yeah.
Just make sure you get my good side. I'm not the best looking person. I'm old, I'm fat, and I'm full.
No.
I've always been cool with you.
I know, Pinto. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying it's you. I'm just saying it's him. I mean,
I'm not saying like I hope you know, like I'm not trying to just say like
I know, but I mean,
I'm not calling a crisis team unless I'm dealing with it, or if somebody I'm working with is dealing with it.
Well,
You're telling me that you can't get a FOIL from Bronxville. That's something you could bring up in Bronxville. You gotta stop going to different departments to try to pit us against each other.
well, no, I'm not pitting anyone against. I'm just saying he's making stuff up, and he's lying and all this sort of stuff. I mean, I mean, he has no. The detective hasn't called me back, and it's been a year and a half.
Bronxville detective?
Yeah, she's a sergeant.
I can't help you with that.
I mean, is there?
That's my department. That's not my jurisdiction. I have nothing to do with Bronxville.
Well, I know, but this is. I mean, is there like a special? I mean, I could show you my as a United States Boy Scout.
What is that gonna do? You don't have to be a Boy Scout. Technically, you don't even have to be a citizen to come in here and talk to me, man. I mean, let's be honest. Your name's not Anthony. It's Lawrence. I call you Anthony because that's what you want me to call you.
That's my middle name.
I don't care if it's your middle name. Your first name's Lawrence.
Yeah.
So, I've always said you want to. I called you Lawrence, and you corrected me. You said, "Can you please call me Anthony? I prefer the name Anthony." What if I called you?
Anthony.
Anthony.
Well, I mean, there's no like, yeah. Oh.
Put it back on. All right.
No, I was saying like.
If you want to, you can go back to Bronxville. I'm not telling you you have to, but if you are worried about him, you can go to Bronxville. You can call St. Vincent's, and you can explain to them what they got. They are going to call Bronxville PD right after they get off the phone with you, or while they're on the phone with you, to see. Keep in mind, if they don't find Sergeant Valentin having trouble or in need of attention, they're going to assume you do.
Well, no, I already called them. I called them out, and they supposedly called.
To call an ambulance for you now to take you somewhere.
I don't.
Do you need help? I'm not a psychiatrist.
I
You seem to need help, but do you need to go talk to somebody?
There's some. I'm under the impression that someone would come here to take a report.
No, that doesn't work that way.
So.
We call the crisis team. We meet the officers there.
So I would have to go
You
there
have to call Bronxville.
and call the crisis team in
Say
Bronxville.
that you're outside the Bronxville Police Department. They're going to call Bronxville PD.
So,
Right now.
so who's the crisis team for Bronxville?
Whatever crisis team you're going to call for Westchester County, it's the same thing.
So St. Vincent's.
Yes.
So I call them and tell them that I'm in Bronxville.
They'll probably call Bronxville, and he can sit there and say, this is the second time he's called you. That's going to look pretty bad on your part. They may come and try to check on you.
Well, I mean, I explained to them that I want my my public records request because he's in there, he's denying me service, and the chief is supposedly invisible or a ghost or something. It's very strange. It's all on video, yes, and I have the chief's car too on videotape too. So he's in there lying, saying stuff.
If I was trying to hide something, do you think I'd be telling you all this stuff?
I know Sergeant Pinto, but Sergeant Valentin is sneaky. I know. All right, well, I'll go.
A few times here. I like him. He's a good guy. I don't think there's anybody really there that I've ever heard of anybody speaking badly about them.
I don't.
But like I said, I don't deal with them through a citizen's eyes.
Yeah, well, I'll go back there and I'll call him, but
I'm telling you, and I'm just giving you a heads up. If you call the crisis team and you're making up a false claim,
I'm not making up a false claim because last time he called for evac. Yeah.
If you call up the crisis team and say somebody's in crisis and it's found out to be a lie, that's on you. I'm just giving you the warning.
Well, I told them I'm not a doctor.
They will come talk to you and they will take you away if they feel that you are this obsessed with this guy about something. If you come to a police department and you ask for them for help and they're being rude to you, any citizen has a right to file a complaint against the officer.
So I mean,
you have filed a complaint against me with that guy Declan on Oakland. And I just said I didn't want anything to happen to you, and you said I was going to harass you. Where I just said I can't leave because of what you told me.
I know Sergeant Pinto. I
You made a
know.
complaint about me following you to make sure you were safe. Did I ever stop talking to you? Have I ever sat there and said I don't like you? You made a complaint against me because you have a God-given civil right to make a complaint against an officer.
But what he's doing is completely,
You can make the complaint to them. You can't make the complaint to me about that.
So what if I go there and request a different officer?
You can.
And he has to send me a different officer?
That's up to him. I don't know their rules.
Oh.
That's Bronxville. If you came in here one time, you saw the other officer in here, you asked to make a complaint. I don't know if you had an issue with the guy or not. I don't know. But he called me in here.
Yeah.
We've done that before for people.
Yeah.
If you came in here and said, Sergeant Pinto, I don't really like you. Do you have somebody else I could talk to? I would give you the officers working and let you pick.
Yeah. Nope.
So, whatever you want to do, that's up to you.
Yeah.
You want to go to Bronxville? I can't stop you from going there. But all I'm saying is, if you're going to call about a crisis because somebody's not giving you a FOIL report, that's falsifying a report. And the crisis team has more important stuff to worry about.
Well, that's not falsifying. I mean, that's that's what I'm assuming it was. Who is that guy?
I didn't really get a good look at him. He just walked out. I guess he probably doesn't want to deal with us. Who knows? But good luck.
All right.
And like I said, you can't come in here because they're doing something to you.
All right.
Stay there.
Okay, I'll go back to them and
Good luck.
I'll request someone else.
That's fine.
Yeah, because the crisis team doesn't. If he's turning around saying that,
If you need
oh,
help,
I.
If you need help, you let me know. I will get you help. If you don't need help right now, then I will let you go.
All right, well, I'll go back there and I'll see if I can get someone.
All right.
But thank you, Sergeant Pinto. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, guys. So here we're talking to Sergeant Pinto, and he called Sergeant Lyingtin, and Sergeant Lyingtin is saying he got a call from the Westchester County Crisis Team about me being in crisis. I don't know if I believe that. I think Sergeant Lyingtin might be trying to project something, because when I called these people and I told them pretty much the whole situation, and it didn't sound like they were investigating me for any sort of crisis. They sound like they were legitimately concerned about him, about what I was explaining to them. So I don't know if I believe the story about he got a call about a man in crisis outside of the police station, but this is what he's telling Sergeant Pinto. And the Bronxville Police has been known to lie to different officers about things. I mean, Blessington lied to Sergeant DeLegge and Sergeant Biaggi. Now I guess Valentin is lying to Sergeant Pinto. But the next clip we're going to see is me going to the Bronxville Police, and I walk in and I basically tell Valentin that I need a FOIL request and also a criminal complaint form, because Valentin's in violation of the law. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if I'm not a doctor or what, but if he is having a breakdown of some kind or what, but he's definitely in violation of the law, because he was not trying to help me get a FOIL request whatsoever. And he said the chief wasn't there, even though the chief was there. And I wanted to file a criminal complaint, and he even refused to have the criminal complaint taken, which you're going to see, there was other officers in the building. There was Officer Sulko was there, as you're going to see, and he could have him take the criminal complaint, but he didn't. In the penal code that I was saying to Valentin was the penal code for dereliction of duty, is what he's doing. And he's also having a mental breakdown as well. So I think that's a very serious matter. But let's roll the next clip. Good evening. Can I have a FOIL request form, a criminal complaint form, and that's it?
You want a FOIA request, Anthony?
And a criminal complaint form.
A criminal complaint form? We don't have those.
I need a criminal
Would you
complaint.
like to write it down?
I need someone to take a criminal complaint.
Here's a FOIA request,
Okay, thank you.
okay?
I'll fill that out.
What's the criminal complaint?
Criminal complaint is, I'll get to that in one. And,
Go to the village, okay?
okay, but what about the criminal complaint?
All right?
What about the criminal complaint?
The criminal complaint, we don't have those forms.
Well, who takes the criminal complaint?
I'll take it. What's going on?
Sergeant Valentin is in violation of New York State Law 195.00.
Okay.
So,
So you're making a complaint against me?
Hi. You're in violation of New York State Law
All right, so
195.00.
you're gonna have to come in another day, Anthony, because I can't take a complaint against myself.
But it's a criminal complaint.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to come back with my supervisors here, okay?
Well, who's the supervisor?
They'll be here tomorrow.
Well, who is it?
You have to come during the day, either Lieutenant DeYoung or Lieutenant Carroll.
Lieutenant DeYoung will be back tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
The morning?
Yes.
At like 8?
Should be here at 8.
Well, I want to question him. Is that detective going to be here?
Which detective? Who are you talking about?
There's another detective?
Which detective?
Jarosz.
Oh, Detective Jarosz? I don't know if she's gonna be here.
There's another detective?
She's the detective for now. Yes, how can I help?
Oh, no, I thought because there was another detective because she hasn't called me.
She hasn't called you yet?
No.
Did you give her your number?
I been gave her my number.
Well, what's wrong with your cell phone service?
My cell phone service works.
It does?
It must be her phone then because I gave her my number.
Okay, I have this thing here. I can fill it out.
Well, yeah, fill that out because it must be her phone then because if she tried to call me, her phone is broken.
Okay, what's a good number for you, Anthony?
You can call me back. I thought she was playing tennis or something. I didn't know. I didn't know she legitimately tried to call me. But if her phone is broken, she needs to get a new phone because obviously the outgoing calls aren't working on her phone.
I think your phone may be.
No, my phone's not broken, Valentin. My phone works. My phone works because I don't have call waiting or nothing. My phone works. I was just speaking to my brother-in-law.
Okay, so you came to see her.
I came.
What's your message?
My message is, well, I want her to still call me about this stuff. It's been a year and a half. I legitimately didn't know. I thought there was something wrong with her phone or she was playing tennis. I didn't know her phone was broken. Honestly, I apologize. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
So her phone is messed up?
I thought yours was messed up.
No, it must be her office. Whatever's down there in that basement, she needs to get a new phone.
Okay, so she's Sergeant Jarosz.
I'll
have her call you, okay?
Yes, please have Detective Sergeant Jarosz. Tell her to call from that phone because that phone downstairs doesn't work.
That's that phone?
Yeah, my phone works.
So your phone is working.
My phone works.
Okay?
Thank you, Valentin. All right. So we're leaving out of Bronxville. I don't know what's going on. This just took a sudden turn. I thought he was having some type of issue, and I think he is. I think there's something he's seeing ghosts and shit, and saying the police chief is not there and the police chief is there. But apparently we got some new information, as you just heard. The detective's phone is broken. This detective has been trying to call me, but she can't realize that her phone is broken. I mean, it took her all this time to realize that her phone is broken. She needs to call from the desk phone, but hopefully Valentin delivers the message to her. It took all this time to figure this out. Remarkable. All right, guys, so what we learn from this is that Detective Jarosz's phone is broken. After a year and a half, it took them all this time to figure out that Detective Jarosz's phone is broken. And I'm the one who figured it out. Valentin thought that my phone was broken, but her phone is broken. Apparently, she's been trying to make outbound phone calls, but she can't reach anyone. He even called my phone number from that phone, and it worked. So that means she's got to call my phone from the desk phone. So whatever's going on with their phones, it's fucked up in there. And as far as Sergeant Valentin, I think the crisis team should be investigating him. I'm no doctor, but if I had to take a guess, I would say dementia, because I called 2 times and that man didn't know who I was. But as soon as I walk in the building, all of a sudden he knows who I am. And then he says that, which detective do I want to speak to? As far as I know, there's only one detective, and it's Detective Sergeant Jarosz. But he thinks there's multiple detectives. There's the chief is not there when the chief's in the building. This is really showing that he needs help. Dementia is pretty much what I think this is. He's senile. I don't know I don't know how old Valentin is, but I mean, he seems pretty old. I don't know, but whatever that crisis team, I don't believe that story about them saying that I was in crisis. I think he made that up. But they should really investigate this, and Jarosz should get a new phone. But this is what we learned from the Bronxville police. So hopefully Jarosz can call me when she gets in, and they could buy themselves a new phone.